안녕하세요. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of my channel, and today I'm at the same spot, same position, different food and different talk. So if you guys read the title and you came in, I will be talking about what is life in Korea like, wife edition. I believe a lot of you that came in probably are married to a Korean man or a Korean woman. I think it's gonna be somewhat similar. So if you're here or if you went through an international marriage and you're living in Korea, this is just for you. More than tips and tricks, I think I just wanted to share a bit about my experience after being married for almost a year. So we got married in June last year and now it's April, so almost a year, right? While I'm gonna talk about it, of course, I cannot just talk, I have to eat something, right? So today I brought pak kimchi, which is spring onion kimchi. It's a very like crunchy kimchi of Korea. And then the same egg from the last episode, this one, they call it bayak egg, which is like very addictive. And today, instead of Korean noodles, I have brought, ta-da! Nissin cup noodles. Woo! This has been some time since I ate this. I really love this flavor. Tom yum seafood one is the one that is always on SQ Airlines and everybody eats. And the smell is heavenly. I miss this one so much. This brand is like sedap's. Reminds me of home so much. Just right, wife edition. Oh, the pak kimchi is so nice. I want to show you the inside of the egg. Okay, you're gonna eat it with the noodles. I remember I used to eat this a lot when I was overseas. When I was in America and I wanted to sleep, but I can't sleep because I'm hungry. This is what I always eat. Wait, I need to drink this. I poured it in advance. Today, once again, I'm going to talk in 3 different categories. How is it like to live as a wife in the Korean society? The second part is I will talk about how is it like to live as a wife in family versus Korean culture. So it's a bit confusing, just not a society, not a culture, so I'll explain to you later. And last but not least, thirdly, I just wanted to summarize life in general as a married spouse of a Korean man in Korea. Number 1, what it's like to live in the Korean society as a foreigner wife and how to deal with the Korean systems here. So basically, when I talk about the Korean society, how do people see foreigners in Korea? This is a bit related to my research. I feel like living in Korean society, not just as a spouse of a Korean, but basically anyone in this society, you are sort of succumb to the pressure of 3 things, which is 눈치, 예의, and 배려. Okay, why did I point these 3 out? I think actually they are very good values that children should learn, but there is a very thin line as to what is acceptable and not. Okay, so let me break it down. This is basically all my personal opinion based on my experience. So you guys can have a different opinion and a different experience, and I would love to hear about it. So please leave in the comment section. But the first one, 눈치. I really want to explain what 눈치 is, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do a good job at it. But basically, 눈치 is like being aware of the surrounding and being aware of people vision and perspective of you. You just have to be very conscious about your actions, what is meant to be done and what is not meant to be done in every situation that you're in. I learned a lot of this 눈치 being together, being married. Of course, I learned a lot of 눈치 being a part of a Korean family even before I was married. And then I learned it even more when I moved into the school culture. One example of 눈치, if I can tell you, is, for example, in my in-law family, I'm kind of the youngest. So I'm probably in between Hansol and Elsa, because I'm younger than Hansol, but then After Hansol, it's just Elsa, so it's me, right? So between Naughty and Elsa, the nunchi that I have to see here is, for example, let's say anyone in my in-law side, something that they need help with, like I have to be quick to go and help them. Okay, so I don't want to be like, oh, I have to help them, that's why I go. But of course I want to help them also. But there is this term called nunchi whereby you have to be aware of your surroundings and you have to try to help them kind of thing. It's not so, I wouldn't say chill, but I'm trying to be very careful here because I don't want to get hate for this. But you just need to know what to do at that time. And honestly, after living in Korea for so long, I've been caught by this nunchi thing also. Sometimes when people don't really know the situation, I'll be like, "Hega, 눈치 없네," that kind of thing. And it's so hard to explain it in an English term, but I'm sure in other cultures they have it as well. It's just that I learn it even more coming here. Even with my husband, Naughty, I do have nunchi also. Like, we will see each other nunchi. Let's say we fight and then like we quarrel, then I'll see his nunchi, like what he's doing. So basically there's just this word that even in Chinese culture, and I'm sure other cultures they have as well. And secondly, yegi. Yegi is like just having manners, and that is also very, very prominent in other cultures, but I just hear it a lot more when I'm here. Like, you have to have manners when you're on a dining table, you have to manners when you're drinking, you have to be mannered when you're at someone else's house. And sometimes, even though yes, it is a given that you learn it through when you grow up and stuff like that, but I just feel it's a lot more stronger here, and I actually stand for it because I think it really teaches the kids to do well and stuff. It brings a lot of harmony because there is structure in the Korean society, but once in a while I do struggle with it because I have never been so strict about it. There's some stuff that you have to have manners about, but when you're family or when you're friends, maybe you don't have to be that, stringent on it. And I just feel that it's just more pronounced in every situation and every part of their life. I'm not sure if you get what I mean, but I have no ill intentions. I still support it. It's just I struggle with it, okay? Last but not least, peryo. Peryo is just having a heart of giving. This one I totally support because I feel that it is a need to always give in to like the yakja. Yakja means like people who are less disadvantage, or like that need help. Honestly, all these words, apart from nunchi, even though they have English translation, I believe it's practiced all over around the world because it doesn't pay to be kind. So everybody should be kind to everyone. It's just that in here, I don't know, is it because of the language that has put more nuance in it that makes it more like, like the punch is stronger. So I do struggle with it sometimes. Not really so much with peryo, but yeah. So these are the three things that I kind of feel that the Korean society, as a foreigner wife of a Korean person, that you have to sort of chikyo. You have to hold it really strong to your roots, And something I had to learn over these 3 years lah, basically. Secondly, being a Korean wife in my in-laws family. But before that, let me replenish my energy. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how my relationship's like with my in-law family. Okay, so I don't wanna like go too in-depth into it because there are some history and past about this kind of stuff which I have already put behind. Being a Chinese Singaporean, not that I don't think that you don't keep it when it comes to your in-laws family, but I really don't know because I didn't marry a Singaporean guy, so I cannot compare. But I really wish I don't have to say this, but honestly, it's not easy being a part of my in-laws because firstly of language barrier. As you guys know, I only came to Korea 2 years ago. And I only officially started really learning a Korean that time, and because of that, I feel like I improved a lot already over the years, but I just feel it's still not enough to fully participate in conversations and stuff like that. I mean, of course, I think because of all that coming together, I feel that I'm not in the best position to talk about in-law life. I do hear of people having really, really beautiful in-law life whereby their mother-in-law and father-in-law is really nice to him. I'm not trying to say that my mother-in-law and father-in-law is not nice to me, but I do have instances whereby I struggle with why do I need to do this? Why do I need to do that? And I do acknowledge that that is more of a family culture, not Korean culture. Because if it's Korean culture, it means that a lot of Koreans do hold on to it. But with those people that I see around me, especially those of my friends who are foreigner wives as well, usually their family is a bit more open, I would say. I think it's because my in-laws, they lived in Indonesia in a really long time. I'm not talking about Naughty's generation, which is his sister. His sisters is a lot more open-minded. But when it comes to my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, there are just some things that they do sometimes that I understand where they come from, but it's so hard to fully want to follow it with my whole heart. And it's just, wow, I don't really know how to explain it in a positive way. It's not that it's negative, but I want to say that it's just not easy for me. And I think even as any kind of wife in any kind of culture, it's always hard for your daughter-in-law to face your mother-in-law. So I guess this power struggle is always there because you're always trying to get hold of their son and stuff like that, and I acknowledge it and I'm totally fine with it. So to be honest, after getting married, it became so much better before compared to before, whereby I wasn't married yet. But yes, once in a while I still struggle, and I try to differentiate whether it's family culture or Korean culture. And I do check back with my friends sometimes what kind of things are people going through, because that's my only way to find out, right? They're my sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, they're really, really nice people. My mom and dad-in-law, they're really nice people at their heart. And I know that they never ever mean any bad to me, or they just want the best, but maybe the way of us communicating and stuff like that just haven't found a right way to match, I guess, because I do struggle with Naughty sometimes when it comes to communication as well, right? So yes, that's my sort of nugget of emotional sharing of what it's like to live in a Korean family as a foreigner wife. As much as I struggle, I believe that marriage is always like a learning process. As much as I am a wife that is only 1 year old, Naughty is a husband that's 1 year old, so is my mother-in-law. Having a daughter-in-law, she's 1 year old too. So I just feel like as a family, we should just learn together lah, basically. And hopefully, those of you who come in watching this video, if you're struggling, you're not alone. It's really, really very tough, especially if you are not like fluent in Korean. So yeah, I feel you, girl. I feel you. Last but not least, I just wanted to talk about life in general. How was it like to live in Korea? Not just as a spouse, but just as a foreigner. For that, I'm gonna finish my egg because it's so dry already. Korea, when you're living a life here, I'm not sure if it's the relationships that I've been having, or is it just me being an introvert, or what I see around my friends, or the people that are flocking around me because we're the same kind. But life in general, especially when it comes to hanging out with friends, when it comes to my master studies, there's always a lot of Korean friends that help me, and I'm sure you'll see them in my Instagram. Of course, on the other hand, I made a lot of friends through YouTube, like connecting with friends that have been doing YouTube and connected to like Indonesian market. That's the reason how I knew them and stuff. I don't know if it's just a barrier within my own heart, or it's just only been 3 years, but the friends that I make in Korea, it's really very hard to pour out everything to them. And I mean, of course, I still have 1 or 2 friends that I do it with. It's just that I don't know, is it because I'm also married and so Naughty became my best friend, but apart from that, it's really very hard to find a true fan that I can reach out to anytime. Of course I can, but there's this thing whereby 한국인들이 늘 바빠, which means that they're always busy. Even if you're not 한국인 and you're 외국인 living in Korea, you're still busy. You're always busy, and you always think that the other person is busy. I've never heard someone who is busy or have this Kenyum or this like idea of this person is busy, I shouldn't disturb it so much until I came to Korea. So even I am busy too. Like, I don't think I'm busy. I'm just trying to live my life, but I think just Korean people like give space to their friends who are going through things in their life, which is when they're busy kind of thing. They're not very open, I would say, in sharing the struggles that they have. So I do share once in a while because I believe to take a step forward in a relationship, you have to first share your heart, right? So I always try to take a step forward and share my heart. But at the same time, even though the other party may or may not share, of course, if they don't share back, then that's where the relationship will end up. But if they share back, I just feel like most of the time I still have to put in effort once again to share again, because there's this idea that if you're Korean, you don't really want to share your burden with others. I'm not sure if it's a Korean thing. If you're watching this video, you're Korean and you understand it, please leave it in the comment section below. But this is my personal experience after hanging out with people all around me for the last 3 years, okay? And I don't think it's just me, but a lot of foreigners, even Naughty said himself that when he interviewed foreigners and stuff like that, it's just really hard to have one true Korean friend. I don't know, is it because of language barrier or so? Once again, it leads to my point 2, whereby Koreans are still not so exposed to foreigners and they're still a little bit afraid, so there's a gap in that relationship. But I would say I'm very blessed that my friends, even though I have to speak Korean to them, they understand everything I say, even though I mix it with English and Korean. And I'm very thankful to them that my Korean improved. Bond that we share in between us. I feel like it's so hard to compare with what I used to build in Singapore. And honestly, being here, I do miss my friends a lot. So I don't think my friends might watch my video, and I will never ask them to watch my video. If you watch it, you watch it. You don't watch it, it's fine. Because this is where I show my real self. But of course with them, it's even more realer than this, okay? I just talk full blast Singlish lah. So yeah, we do change friends once in a while, and I see it as just a life process. I just hope that we'll be able to reach out to more Koreans or even Wegugin in Korea that are living and going through the same thing, so that we can reach out to each other and we can just help each other, because it's just not easy living in a foreign country, and it's not just Korea but everywhere else also, okay? That is just like my small thought and sharing about what it's like to live as a foreigner, as a Korean wife in Korea. I wish I didn't destroy your dream or something about wanting to move to Korea and get married in Korea and stuff, but I feel that I didn't come here because I love Korea and this kind of thing. Maybe that's the reason why I face this gap. Of course, if you love it, maybe it's gonna be easier for you, but for me, I feel like I have a long way to go. And like I said in the previous video, I'm not perfect, I'm still learning. I'm not the best and the most patient person or girl you've ever seen. I still work through it. So I just wanted to share with you guys that this is where I am right now. I really hope that the society will change and both foreigners and the locals will really work hard to form this multicultural acceptance line in Korea. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much for watching it to the end of it. That is just like my personal opinion, so please don't hate on me. So, yep. See you in the next video.